Often with electric cars, it's range or performance that come to the fore. But with this big Audi, it's not just how it uses the power that's interesting, but also how it replenishes it. We'll be covering all these things and more in this CarGurus review, but first, here's your reminder to subscribe and turn on those notifications by ringing the bell icon. That way, regardless of whether the car we are reviewing is electric, petrol, diesel, new or used, you'll now be kept up to date with when the videos go live. It's no secret that electric cars are improving all the time, and there is no exception with this car because it is the perfect example. There's a charge port this side and an identical one on the other side, and you can charge up to 150 kilowatts, beating both the Jaguar I-Pace and the Mercedes EQC. You'll need to find a rapid charger that can match that 150 kilowatt speed, but do so and you'll be able to add 100 miles or range to your e-tron in just 15 minutes. At the other end of the scale, if you want to charge this at home, it's going to have to be done overnight because it does take quite some time. And assuming you've gone for the 55 model, a full charge is 271 miles officially, but in the real world, it's about 200. The alternative is to go for the e-tron 50 model, for which the official range is 186 miles. In either case, you'll be getting a long-range electric SUV with a useful dose of practicality. The boot is a massive 600 litres with the rear seats up and 1,725 litres with the seats folded down. You'll of course be getting a big SUV, which in my opinion hides its bulk really well. I think it's a really smart looking vehicle, less out there than a Jaguar I-Pace, but still upmarket. And if you want something a bit sleeker, there's a sportback version as well. The other big SUV that you might want to compare it to is the Tesla Model X, and the Tesla is more practical, primarily because the Audi only comes with 5 seats, whereas you can get the Tesla with 6 or 7 seats. That said, it is still roomy and comfortable. As you can see, I've got a car seat in here, and it feels really good quality. Do note that if you do go for the Sportback, you lose a little bit of headroom because it has a raked rear hatch. So if you're carrying taller passengers on a regular basis, you may want to stick with the standard e-tron. For anybody who's been in a recent Audi, this interior is not going to hold any surprises. Not that you should mind, because it's very clean in its design and the materials are wonderful, apart from some hard scratchy plastic here. That said, overall, it's so impressive and so good that it might be what sways you into buying an e-tron over one of its rivals. On the technology front, there are numerous different screens to display the key driving information and infotainment. This setup takes a bit of getting used to, and some will mourn the lack of physical buttons for some controls, but once you get used to it, the e-tron's interface is really impressive. It's also got plenty of in-car storage and a really good driving position and a real sense that you're in something rather luxurious and expensive. Which you are, because the e-tron range starts at £70,000. And if you spec things such as this lovely panoramic sunroof, heads-up display, LED matrix headlights, you can easily get this car to over £80,000. Now, filling your car with electricity might be a lot cheaper than filling it with petrol or diesel, but let's not kid ourselves that the e-tron is a cheap option. It's an expensive car, but it looks and feels like it as well, so maybe that's okay. What might surprise you is the performance, or lack of it, compared with the Jaguar I-Pace and Tesla Model X. Getting from 0 to 62 miles per hour in this 55 model with its 402 horsepower output takes 6.6 seconds. Go for the e-tron 50 and you'll have 308 horsepower and a 0 to 62 miles per hour time of 6.8 seconds. Don't get me wrong, with the e-tron in sport mode, it does feel quick, and the grip from the Quattro four-wheel drive system is immense, but it's not shockingly fast in a straight line like the Jaguar or the Tesla. And it's not particularly engaging to drive either. So it goes and it grips, but there's little more to it than that. Which of course is going to be absolutely fine for those who simply want their EV to waft along in silence and eke out the maximum possible range. But what about other types of buyers? I'm talking about the people who won't need to use the full battery capacity every time they drive it. The people who can charge it every few days and enjoy the performance every so often. Those people might be pretty disappointed with the lack of excitement in the driving experience. It also means the car's fairly average efficiency grates that little bit more. In our experience, the e-Tron has been returning around 2 to 2.3 miles per kilowatt hour, which is really not brilliant by electric car standards. The fact that it weighs 2.5 tonnes probably doesn't really help here. Where the big Audi does excel, however, is in ride comfort. All e-Trons come with adaptive air suspension, and it does a great job of giving a super smooth ride and overall making it feel like a truly luxurious vehicle. As with other electric cars, it's going to be a seriously compelling option for company car drivers, assuming of course that the company car scheme you're on is generous enough to include a £70,000 car, and you will save thousands of pounds in benefit in kind when compared with the diesel equivalent. But would all of this luxury, space and convenience of rapid charging convince you that the e-Tron is the electric car to beat, or would your money go on the Mercedes, Jaguar or Tesla? Let us know in the comments, and remember that whatever car you're thinking about buying, you'll be able to find examples for sale on cargurus.co.uk, which is the place to go to find great deals from top-rated dealers. We'll see you next time.